Well, we are just starting our coverage here at Gold Stock Analyst Day, and my next guest is Bruce McLeod. He is the CEO of Sabina Gold. Bruce, welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a while since we've spoken, and a lot of news has come out from Sabina on your Back River Gold project. The major news, last year you received what you've been waiting for, the permit to move ahead with the project. So for our viewers out there who are not familiar with the project, first give us a bit of a background refresher on what you're looking to accomplish in Nunavut.
Well, first, a bit about the company is Sabina is a very high-grade, large, now permitted, fully permitted gold district in northern Canada and Nunavut. We have a little over 5.2 million ounces at 6 grams in measured and indicated, plus another 2 million ounces in inferred, again at over 6 grams. And these constitute actually the highest grade undeveloped open pits in the world at over 500,000 ounces. So not only very high grade, large, and we have shown even in the last 3 years with additional discoveries that it is going to grow. But I think more important is, particularly in a first world asset, is the permitting process is now behind us. We're shovel ready. We've spent over 5 years and closer to $40 than $30 million in getting to the stage. And
it was a long road to get the permit. So I want to know, Bruce McLeod, the day that you get the phone call, the permit, it's cleared, it's done, you can move ahead. What went through your head? What were you thinking?
Well, the immediate thoughts were, it's done, it's over, and then immediately start working at the next tasks that are ahead of you, and really what it is the work's just begun. I think it was very important to us because many that follow the company know that we had a year delay in our permits, and some pundits felt that it was something that could be much longer and indefinite in terms of that. So overcoming those hurdles, it's something that in the mining industry, I think that you have to be good at.
Right, and I interviewed Rex Murphy, commentator from the National Post. He was the keynote at the VRIC, and he was saying he cares about caribou like the next Canadian, but he feels that we're not doing a good enough job of finding a balance of moving the economy forward and yes, protecting the environment. Do you agree with that?
I think particularly in the mining industry, and particularly in Canada, I think there can be criticisms historically on mining operators and in maybe some third world jurisdictions that don't have the state-of-the-art protection measures we do in Canada. I think Canadians and Canadian miners, even working abroad, are doing a wonderful job in elevating us to something that the 21st century citizen believes that we can coexist with Aboriginal communities, with the environment, with the animals.
So what did you do to convince the government, look, we are going to do everything to protect the caribou? They stated that you have some state-of-the-art measures in place. Walk us through it.
Well, really is we're dealing with, first of all, an issue that was almost superfluous to Sabina. It was a particular caribou herd that has been in a heavy decline, but the reality is, and acknowledged by the regulators, that we don't actually interact with that herd. But it was, when we talk about protection and about how we're evolving, we put in protection measures if that herd should change its range. And that herd hasn't changed its range in 100 years to interact with their project. But if they do, we have measures based on family units, on number of caribou, and when they do come through, if they do come through, is generally during a summer migration where they're moving quite quickly. But again, we have those protection measures in place that we believe that we will not interact with them and cause any harm.
So now that you have the permit, how much closer are you to achieving your goal, the dream for becoming a mid-tier gold producer?
Much closer, because it's binary. If you don't have metallurgy that works, if you don't have a permit, you can't ever become a producer. It can't become a profitable one. So a lot of those technical hurdles are now behind us, and now it's really the financial hurdles. And we're in a gold price environment that I looked at this on Monday of last week. There had only been 54 days where gold in Canadian dollars, and that's our functional currency, has traded higher than it does today in Canadian dollars. So it's not the equity price. It's commodity prices and interest by the commodity players. We've seen central bank buying in gold at numbers that we haven't seen for 50 years. But we have not seen the influx of investors into the equities, and it's something that it does feel like it's coming. We have seen appreciation in equities, not at the same rate as the commodity price, but I believe that equity revaluations isn't happening as we speak today.
Bruce, finally, what do you think about the state of the sector in general? We're seeing, I know you're saying the investors are not quite there yet, but is there not a better sentiment the start of this year as there was compared to 2018?
Oh, absolutely. The sentiment is better, but the sentiment is still probably in the maybe it's in the top of the fourth quartile now of what historically was good sentiment. But the fundamental factors, particularly in precious metals, in terms of pricing, in virtually every currency, gold has outperformed, and we've seen gold and gold equities even outperforming the S&P in 2018. So we're seeing the beginnings of what generally are the start of a bull market in these commodities.
So your focus for 2019 then, as CEO of Sabina?
Is moving the project forward, de-risking it, adding exploration ounces, and waiting for an opportunity that we can finance the project on terms that our shareholders will be happy with.
Bruce McLeod, well, I wish you luck with that. Continued success.
Thank you
so much for coming on, and thanks for watching. We'll have much more for you on Kitco.com.